Hello, welcome. I'm Robert Ricciardelli coming to you from, it's a great day here in Seattle. And obviously it is gray here often in Seattle, but we have some positives that come with that. We get a lot of green, a lot of great trees, and we have mountains here and oceans and lakes and all kinds of things. So there's a give and take here in Seattle. We had an amazing summer. And it's been a while since I've communicated to many of you from this type of format. So, hey, hey, hey. And thanks for taking the time to listen. I've done a few posts here recently on Facebook and otherwise, and I've had a lot of good comments. And so I thought I'd talk about a few of them. So let's talk about this one that I wrote earlier this week. God is awakening humanity up to the need to affect the decentralization of systems, their dependency on any system, and for them to look to their unlimited resource within. That's God. We have the fullness of the kingdom of God within us, while God does what only He can do in shaking and dismantling everything that can and must be shaken and dismantled. Well, we all know that God is doing a great shaking and an awakening. In the shaking, we are awakened to the fact that the things we thought we could trust, we can no longer trust. Hopefully they're not people in our lives, but the systems I'm talking to at this point. So there's systems. There's government systems. There's church systems. There's family systems who try to control and run your life. There are corporate systems. If you've been part of a big corporation, you know that they want to possess and acquire and control your life. They'll pay you well for it sometimes, but oftentimes you're left controlled for many years sometimes. But the bottom line is systems do what systems do, and typically a system out of control will want to possess, acquire, control, and God is a God of freedom, wants you to be free. He sets the captives free and wants you to remain free and being one with Him. Understanding that all things work together for good, no matter what you've been through, but nevertheless, He wants His kids to be free. So we're going to move to freedom. And sometimes we've got to take trips around the mountain. I wrote this earlier this week as well. After taking too many futile trips around Mount Stupid, and sometimes it can be stupid, wisdom is calling out to you once again to summit Mount Surrender. There is freedom and peace that is realized at the Surrender Summit, and revelation letting you know that you are not alone and have never been alone in your journey. This is a place of rest that faithfully and powerfully advances you over the summit to Mount Victory. We all want to have a victorious life, but sometimes we circle around that mountain called Mount Stupid. And you wonder, okay, why do we keep going around that Mount Stupid? Why do we keep going around that mountain? Well, sometimes it takes a while for us. I have a friend who says, it just took me 4 to 5 to 6 to 10 times to finally figure out that wasn't going to work. And sometimes that's what it's going to take. And you know what? We're all in process. It's, we have eternity. So the quicker we get there, it's nice because we can live a lot more productive lives. Once we get over the hump and find a more direct path to Mount Victory versus going around a mountain that is taking us to nowhere land. And then a big part of getting out of that roundabout way around Mount Stupid is to climb on this mountain called surrender. And when we surrender to God, surrender to ego, basically let ego go so we can live spirit-led lives, productive lives, we then are opening our hearts and minds to revelation and even greater understanding that we are not alone. We have God, we have each other. We have an amazing opportunity to live productively in Him. And I love that. In Him we live and move and have our being. And so being is very, very important and far more important than doing. A lot of times our religion and the people around us are giving us expectations of doing, and God just cares about us being. And once we rest in being, we can advance in the place of rest and do the things that we're called to do, but we're doing it in our beingness and not our doingness. And it's much more effective. It leaves a long-lasting impact. and it's sustainable for our lives. So be encouraged today. Take a gander, take a leap, take a hike up Mount Surrender for your life. Freedom and peace will be found there as you surrender. And then there's an immediate crossing and advancing over to the summit called Mount Victory, and you'll find much more victory in your life as you surrender today, in the now, in the present. Have a great day. It's Robert Ricciardelli from the Converging Zone, and thanks for checking in to say hello. Ciao.